Thanks, Coach. Well, the sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4th. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away. And we may have a face mask here right at the start. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now Anderson. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 2nd down, Haskins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Body Calhoun. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, he's going to air it. This is caught inside the 15. That one good for 37 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. A first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing, Cousins. And it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. The kick by Pinheiro is good. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. A give to Cook out of the gun, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins buying time to his left. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Fancy footwork at midfield. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be... Turnable, it's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts. So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They go play action with Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Washington Redskins, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go.
On first down, here's Love. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Ready? 15-90.
From the 39, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
He got position on him, and he pulls it in. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Haskins on first down. Looking for McCoy, and he's got him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Right there, 56. Let's go.
A first down throw for Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Play fake. Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, touchdown number 15 of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
3 bud.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
To throw is Cousins. And he slings one that's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Wild Bill. 51 to Mike, boy. 51. Check 26, check 26.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's bring it.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 5 at the 42-yard line.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Again, it's Cook. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Watch 54. Go. D, tighten up. Let's go. D, tighten up.
And they'll try to fire up the running game with C.J. Anderson. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get ready.
Now it's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. The 20. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Let's go. Play 56. Play 56. Watch the hey, box truck. 56. Mike's 56.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
It's just me and you.
They run again on first down. Cook. Sean Dion Hamilton was there to bring him down defensively.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Cook running right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack.
It's 2nd down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
Now Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
56, right there, 56. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic. Let's go, D. Hey, Haywood.
Third and long for Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Running to start the drive is Love. He'll have a first down past the 40. It's a foot race. 30. 10. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his fourth touchdown on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You better be afraid of me. Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Vikings on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Really solid coverage from the current NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Also had an interception in that game a week ago.
And it was fun to watch him in practice this week, wasn't it? To see how he understands spacing and when the ball's arriving, which hand to put out in front to try and knock it away. And he just exhibited it on that play.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. 3rd and 2, now Haskins looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded just inside the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
The 40-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Throwing, Cousins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll run it. Here's Cook, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Cousins now from the 50. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Deron Payne in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
I got you.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter. That's the run he's been waiting for, Charles. He's been bottled up all game. That run alone got him more yards than he had in all his previous carries combined.
And don't think for a second he doesn't know that, because every back that I know can almost calculate every yard with every step that they take. Had to be frustrated because of what's happened during the game. Has to feel a lot better after that run.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Love. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down on a gain of 10. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
They come out here in the eye. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll go to P-Rod, trying to pound it in. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So a victory here for the Washington Redskins, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Redskins, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.